Hi, both. Thanks for joining us today on our Business Gurus channel, where we will be discussing key business topics to help students grasp the most important elements of their course in preparation for their exams and future career. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are tearing into the P that most people think of first with marketing. Promotion.
Yeah, the flashy part.
Exactly. But it's not just about, shouting the loudest. It's really about strategic communication.
Yeah.
It's this complex science almost of driving awareness and, well, ultimately driving sales. We're talking the promotion part of the marketing mix.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is that while the tools are so diverse, billboards, flash sales, all that, the foundation, strategy-wise, has to be solid.
Okay.
And the first step, the most critical one, our sources point out right away, is that your specific promotion has to be, totally dictated by the market segment you're aiming for.
Right. You can't mismatch them.
No way. You don't pitch a super luxury watch with a discount flyer, right? And you wouldn't advertise, I don't know, basic soap on high-end financial news shows. It just doesn't fit. Makes sense. You have to tailor everything, the message, the medium, how often you send it to who you're actually trying to reach. So our mission today, I think, is to get past just defining these things. We want to really analyze the strategy behind 5 key promotional methods.
Get into the why.
Yeah, understand the real objective and also the trade-offs, because there are always trade-offs with each one. We're trying to turn what can feel like a pretty dense topic into something clear, something actionable. Okay, let's unpack this. So let's kick things off with the strategy that, well, gets most attention and often eats up the biggest chunk of budget.
Advertising.
Yeah, the classic paid promotion. Across all kinds of media online, TV, radio, billboards, social media feeds. It feels simple on the surface, but it's really not. Not at all. And the main goal of advertising, its primary objective, is pretty much pure volume.
Yeah.
It builds awareness.
Self
It's getting known. Exactly. Making sure people know you exist. But the big challenge is how you do it and what it costs. The source material is really clear. Advertising can be very expensive.
Sure.
Especially the old school stuff, like trying to reach everyone through primetime TV.
Oh, for sure.
And even now, with digital ads, maybe the cost per view seems lower, but figuring out the actual return on investment, the ROI, that gets incredibly complicated.
It really does.
You have to make sure that massive budget isn't just, creating background noise, but actually hitting the right segment of users. Traditional advertising often feels like a scattergun, doesn't it? Just hoping you hit something. How do businesses even justify that huge cost? That's a key part of their design mix thinking, right?
Well, they justify it by aiming for sort of ubiquity, being everywhere, and recognizing that ads aren't just about selling today. They're also priming the pump for tomorrow's sales.
Okay, the long game.
Yeah, but there's definitely a diminishing return. We see companies run into message fatigue. You see the same ad so many times, you just actively ignore it.
Tune it out completely.
Right. So modern strategy tries to fight that by moving away from just blasting everyone towards really specific, measurable online campaigns. That lets them tweak the message constantly and control that cost factor more dynamically.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's stick with strategies focused on public perception for a minute, but shift away from the direct buy this now message. Let's look at sponsorship.
Sponsorship. That's the calculated association play. A business pays money just to be linked with something else, a big event, a sports team, maybe a celebrity or influencer.
Okay.
The goal here is way more nuanced than just awareness. It's really designed to improve the brand image and boost its visibility by sort of borrowing prestige.
Borrowing prestige. I like that. And why does that association work so well? Is it just osmosis?
Kind of, yeah. The idea is that the consumer transfers the positive feelings they have for the thing being sponsored, like the excitement of the World Cup, or maybe the good vibes from a charity event. They transfer that feeling onto the sponsoring company.
Okay, but that sounds risky. I mean, what if the team has a terrible season or the celebrity gets into a scandal? Doesn't that goodwill or bad will flow back the other way and damage the sponsor's image?
Oh, absolutely. That's the critical risk you have to manage. The risk of association is very real.
Right.
So successful sponsorship isn't just about writing a check. It's about making absolutely sure the aesthetics, the values, the whole vibe of the sponsored thing aligns perfectly with your own brand identity. You need serious risk assessment and really tight control over that relationship. You're borrowing someone else's reputation, like you said, and that rep is never guaranteed.
That's a really good distinction. Advertising feels transactional, like buying space.
Yeah.
Sponsorship is relational, but definitely high stakes. Okay, but high image and goodwill don't necessarily pay today's bills, do they?
Not directly, no.
So let's transition now. Let's move from building perception to strategies designed to make a customer act right now. Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's move to special offers. These are the pure short-term incentives. Your 10% off, your buy one, get one free deals, the limited time flash sales.
Yeah.
Very tactical.
Yeah. And the objective couldn't be clearer. Special offers are there to encourage quick purchases. Simple as that. Right now.
Right now. They create urgency, maybe trigger an impulse buy, or just make someone buy something now that they were planning to buy later anyway. They're like the marketing manager's best friend when you've got inventory piling up or you need to grab market share fast in a crowded space. Okay, but doesn't running constant special offers feel a bit cheap? Like it could erode the brand's value over time. If your customers only ever buy when it's half price, have you really built loyalty or just attracted bargain hunters? Doesn't that damage the brand's integrity long term?
It absolutely can. That's the big danger. You risk training your customers to wait for the discount,
Yeah.
which kills your profit margin and really messes with their perceived value. And that's a huge factor in the overall marketing mix. So special offers are best used strategically. Maybe to shift stock that's nearing the end of its product life cycle, right? If a product's declining, a big discount is better than just letting it die on the shelf.
Okay. Makes sense in that context.
But if you slap discounts on your main flagship product all the time, yeah, the long-term damage probably outweighs the short-term cash boost. That leads us perfectly into the next strategy, one that also drives immediate action but maybe avoids that cheapening trap. Product trial. Yes.
This is where you let customers try something for free, or maybe at a really low price. Think free samples, or like a 30-day free software subscription.
This one's much more sophisticated, actually, because it serves two purposes. Yes, it definitely encourages first-time use. It lowers the financial risk for the customer, makes it easy to say yes.
Removes that barrier.
Exactly. But the crucial secondary outcome, the real long-term win, is that our source material specifically says this tactic builds customer loyalty.
Ah, that's the key difference then. Special offers target price sensitivity people looking for a deal. Product trial targets risk-aversion people hesitant to commit without trying.
Precisely. With a trial, you're essentially assuming your product's quality is high enough.
That it'll sell itself.
Yeah. Once the customer experiences the function, the usefulness, they'll hopefully integrate it into their life and be happy to pay full price later. It's an investment in the actual product experience, not just a price cut.
It shows confidence in the product itself.
It really does. You're betting on its superiority. You move someone from just thinking about it to actually using it. And for things like services or maybe complex software where setting it up takes effort from the customer, that trial is invaluable. It removes that initial hurdle and helps lock in long-term users.
Okay, speaking of long-term, that brings us really naturally to the most fundamental tool for sustaining a business long-term, branding. This kind of underpins everything else we've talked about, doesn't it?
It really does.
Branding goes way beyond just the tactical sale of the day. It focuses entirely on building a strong, recognizable identity for the business.
The whole look and feel.
Everything. The logos, the specific colors you use, the slogans, the overall personality or voice. It's how you manage the company's entire design mix to make sure everything feels consistent.
It's like the company's soul projected outwards, making sure every single touch point from the website to the packaging to how customer service answers the phone, it all feels connected and unified. Exactly. And the outcome of doing that well seems pretty clear. Strong branding creates deep, lasting customer loyalty. And when people are loyal to the brand itself, not just the product feature, they're often willing to pay more, right? Even if there's a cheaper option that does basically the same thing.
Yes, and this is where that concept of differentiation really comes into play. If your brand identity is strong and unique, you basically build a protective moat around your business. Think about two products that seem identical on the shelf. One has really strong branding, people love it, they talk about it, they defend it. The other one, without that clear identity, it's probably stuck constantly relying on special offers and heavy advertising just to compete on price.
So if we tie all 5 methods together, it really highlights the main challenge for any marketing manager, doesn't it? They're constantly juggling, trying to balance these tools for immediate results against investments in that long-term relationship. That's exactly it. You need the cash flow now, which things like special offers and well-timed advertising can deliver. But if you only focus there, you're neglecting branding and product trial. And those are the 2 methods specifically aimed at creating sustainable customer loyalty.
Right.
So a really successful business has to deploy these things together often using the money generated by those quick wins to fund the slower, long-term identity building.
It's fascinating how those 5 distinct methods really cover the whole spectrum, doesn't it? From just getting noticed initially all the way through to building decades of loyalty, it's clearly not about picking the best tool overall, but the right tool for what you're trying to achieve right now. Which brings us back to really knowing your market segment and understanding where your product is in its product life cycle.
So what does this all mean? Especially for you, listening, if you follow this topic closely.
Well, I think it means the basic principles of promotion. They haven't really changed. You still need awareness, you need a good image, you need ways to drive immediate action, and you absolutely need loyalty. But the sources we look at also hinted at the next huge shift, the use of technology in promotions. The digital transformation.
Exactly. We talked about how expensive advertising can be, how risky sponsorship might feel, how offers can sometimes devalue a brand. Technology is fundamentally changing the cost-benefit calculation for all 5 of these. In what ways? Well, think about it. How might advanced data analytics, maybe even AI, completely change the cost structure of something like advertising? Could it turn that expensive scattergun into a hyper-targeted, super-efficient engine? Interesting point. Or how could things like augmented reality or truly personalized online content make timeless strategies like product trial or branding even more powerful, more effective? And maybe the biggest question, what new, incredibly specific market segments does technology let you reach today that were just too expensive or maybe even invisible yesterday?
Hmm. That feels like the strategic puzzle we all need to be thinking about next now that we've got this solid foundation of the 5 core promotional objectives.
That's a perfect thought to end on. Lots to consider there. Until next time.
Thanks to both of you for joining us today. You've been listening to the Business Gurus. Let's now hand it over to you. What further questions do you have based on what we've discussed so far? Leave a comment and we'll get back to you right away. If you haven't already, hit that follow for more business tips.